think I'd go back.
We're alive. There's nobody here yet.
I give it about 5 seconds.
I gotta figure out how to share.
You got an iPhone charger available?
Yeah.
I have one.
What?
Long cord.
Is it here?
Yeah.
Go
There's
grab it, babe.
iPhone cords everywhere. Just pick one, plug it in.
Yeah,
You're
I
good to
got
go.
a very long cord. It should be in here somewhere.
Um,
Where?
I don't want to. That's the little sharing button. There we go. All right.
Give me a tutorial on that, man. I may make a video someday.
It ain't that hard, especially if you got an iPhone.
Yeah.
Especially if you got an iPhone.
I can't find my block though.
Your Glock?
Block.
Oh, here, there's one right there, kiddo. There's that cord right there.
You have the same cord.
I love those cords. I got mine from Amazon.
Same.
What a convenient.
Yeah, thanks, Jeff Bezos.
Yeah. Pays no taxes.
Yeah.
I get me. Okay.
Isn't that fascism?
Oh no, I'm at 2.
Pretty close. Mastermind live stream. Fascism is the joining of. No, that's socialism. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Here, I'll take-
business and
Yeah.
government.
Hey Dad, I can put your phone on.
I'm wanting to see if there's an outlet there. See if you can run your long cord over here and plug it in. So
I
that
don't
way-
have a block. I left mine in the
Does TJ have a block over there?
There should be several. Oh, do you need to just plug it up here?
Yeah, I was just gonna do it so I could.
Oh, snatch one off the wall over there in the office.
I just want to be able to read. Close.
Read. Do you even read, bro?
Yeah.
I got a new book today.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Alright, this is my cord.
That was really long too. Wow, that was like 10 foot long, kid.
Which one do you want to use?
The long one.
They were long. Ew, I'm short.
Hello? Are there peoples there?
Oh, the blue one's a little longer by an inch.
Put that in there.
Alright, here, I'll take this.
Blue one's long. Here, there's plugs right there.
Oh, sweet.
Whoa!
Yeah, we don't mess around. We got phone chargers and plugs everywhere.
They're all
Do you have
It's
any,
like
do you have any more keys?
Jeff Smith, shalom, brother. Prepping in progress. Hello. Hello. Are you going to say hello to the people? OPB, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Andrew Carroll, howdy. Shabba-dabba-da. Shalom, Matt Fulkerson. Shalom, brother. What's going on? Let's see. Jeff, prepping in progress, and Matt were all on site in Muskogee this past weekend.
Really?
Yeah, so that's pretty good. That's 50% of the room right now.
Give it like another 30
Yeah.
seconds.
Tony John was there as well. Renee, shalom. Yeah, I don't know like how much I rested, but some. Oki, what's up, brother? Oki was there. Sue, shalom, Sue. Mike Speakman. Jeff Brown is here. I love it. I guess we're doing the things.
I think I'm being banned from the channel.
All right. Well, it's this is on Patreon, homeboy.
Oh, well, that would make sense.
Yeah, so you'd have to click the Patreon link. Ken, shalom. Douglas, shalom.
Patreon, this is going to be fun.
Yeah, this is the
This
Patreon
will be-
mastermind where we pretend that we
Yeah,
know
yeah.
the things.
But
Guys, this is the mighty swinger of the banhammer himself, Tribesman. Shalom. Shalom. This is the Patriot Plumber, one of the 4 horsemen of the banhammer at Bear Independent. And thank you for being here.
Man, it's great to be here.
We just did what did we do? We did a podcast.
Yeah, we did a podcast
Yep.
after we remodeled.
After we remodel, yeah, we need to turn this camera a little bit. Let's see. So we got some shirts up over here.
Smile.
Smile, you on the internet now. That's your daughter.
Yep, that's my daughter. That's the warrior princess.
And so we got some Glock stuff from not Okie, from Travis, NWA Prepper, and then we hung Okie's core, or what do we call that thing? Flag? Come on, let's go for a walk. I'm going for a walk.
Hybrid flag.
Oh, and check this out. The Patriot Plumber got me that for the wall, which is super cool. That was made, we think, with 357 Magnum.
Yeah.
So that's sheet steel that's got bullet holes in it. Renee, my mom is doing great. Thank you for asking. Then we got our Glock banner over here behind the drums, because every drummer wants to be sponsored by Glock. Then in here, we got our flag from Okie up on the wall as well. And we figure we're just going to keep filling the walls with colonial era don't tread on me flags. I'm loving it. Yeah. So, yeah. So let's talk about Mama. Stormtrooper Shalom, brother. You're awesome. Mom is doing good. She will hopefully be released Monday. And let's see. The docs are super impressed with her recovery currently, which is awesome considering the fact that she doesn't have an endocrine system. So that's great. So, you know, they cut a hole in the middle of her chest and took a vein out of her leg and used that to do 3 bypasses and did 3 stints. So she's a little beat up, but she's doing good. War of 1812, upstate New York, Revolutionary War veteran militia flag. I love it. Crazy Canuck. Shalom, brother. West Coast Canuckistan. Breaks got a little. Nah, they should be fine, Crazy Canuck. Glad to hear that, Renee. Roger that, Okie. Mad Celt, shalom, brother. So, we're here. Deus Volt Permaculture. Your name now, sir, is FM22. He, oh, you watching the live stream on your phone?
Send it.
Yeah, send it. This is Libby on the hammer. Roger. Not me, the father. Roger that, Stormtrooper. You are awesome, though. So what do we got going on, guys? What's the word on the street? What are the preparedness questions?
Man, I'm just smoked.
Roger that.
Dude, I'm just like, oh.
Mad Celt. Both our moms. Roger that. Glad to see it. Off to see the grandkidlets later, gang. Roger that, Crazy Canuck. Keep it between the lines, okay?
Crazy's cool.
Yeah, he's a
I
good
love
dude.
Patreon, man. This is like, this is awesome.
Yeah, the quality of people on Patreon is so far and above better than YouTube. It's like you don't even need the hammer here.
That dollar.
Thank you, Douglas Hemingway. Thank you.
I need to read. I can't read that part. I'm getting old eyes.
So, what's going on, y'all? Oh no. It finally broke. Loving the new forum. We've been having fun getting started. Well, Monica is awesome, and Monica 100% did the forum. I said, hey, can we make this happen? And she said, sure. And then it happened. So I'm glad. What are your thoughts on nuke plants post SHTF? You need to know what the prevailing winds are, and that's going to vary based upon the time of year. So you don't want to be super close to one. I don't really want you near one at all. But if you're going to be near one, you're going to want IOSAT.
What's that? I gotta get out of this.
Shalom from not Indiana.
Nuke map.
Nuke map, yeah. Mad Celt, it is hard red wheat. In fact, some of it fell on the floor, so I might be able to get some for you. I might not, though. We'll see.
What was it earlier? Wheat?
Huh?
Wheat diving?
Wheat diving.
We don't have any wheat here.
Who wants to see TJ just do a full barrel run and do some wheat diving?
Wheat diving. Like screw trick dropping wheat.
For a second there, I thought it was like some sort of like prep for like Halloween decorations or.
It is.
Yeah.
You caught me.
Yeah, wheat diving, Magville. Yeah.
Wheat diving.
New thing.
New sport.
Dude, I love the new words.
So that's it.
Some beautiful berries.
Super fabulous berries.
Super berries.
Visit us at bearsberries.com and for your 10% discount on wheat berries.
Crunchy.
Super crunchy. I feel very fibrous.
That'll help you with your plugged upness.
So,
If you were to have it.
my wife just made some awesome homemade honey wheat bread with this stuff just to give it a go. Bro.
We're going to stop by the house, man.
Yeah, I'm sure that there's some there with your name on it. And coming off of the mission where my diet was already shot anyway, I came home and she's like, "Oh, I made homemade honey wheat bread." I was like, "I'll have half of that loaf, please."
I am so behind, man. I've been busting my hump to get all this jobs done so I can make it down here. And like, I've been behind on Patreon and YouTube and like the world news. And I'm just like been grinding down so that way I can make this time to get down here, man. And I am right here. I had quit these things 2 months ago, but they've been bringing me back to life.
Shall we plant some wheat in you? Here. If we water that with Red Bull, like Idiocracy, it should be good to go. Tony John says, looking to put a shed on property, toying with kit versus stick build, barn style with concrete floor. Which would you go for? I like the kits. I've done a couple of kits and a couple of just, frame up on site. And the nice thing with the kits, if you get a kit, is that everything is pre-cut. It goes so fast. Like all your studs, all your rafters, all your sails, everything's pre-cut, and you just bang the thing out. It's a lot of the tape measure and the chop saw headache from it. So
your time is money.
Yeah,
it'll help out.
Yeah, you do, Mad Celt. Yes, it is, Renee. Puzzleman, shalom, brother. Got to run in and bomb my last house for the day.
What?
These are
pest control?
Yes, not mold remediation, not weapons. Shalom, brother. Bless you, and thank you so much. Stormtrooper took care of all the drywall for Muskogee.
That's awesome.
He was gonna come, and like circumstances weren't having it. He's like, since I can't come, is there anything I can get for you? And I was like, we need drywall. He's like, consider it done. Handled it, man. Just awesome. How do you keep varmints out of your food storage in a barn? Daniel Pate, shalom. That's a great question. So we do our food in Mylar bags in 5-gallon buckets, and then I put out rat traps with poison in them. And then I also am pretty big on sacrificial food. I'll put out like some corn and stuff away from where the food is. Then they go there and eat that, and then I kill them at the corn pile. So
nice.
Susan, shalom. Thank you. Do you have any insight to bring my siblings and children into prepping? They think I'm crazy. Susan, you got to hit them where they're at. You got to meet them right where they're at. And so, like, let's say if one of your sons is an over-the-road truck driver, like, you don't want to talk to him about Panamanian paratroopers. You want to talk to him about what happens if something happens and he can't get fuel, or the not San Andreas fault, the New Madrid, thank you. The New Madrid goes off and he can't get back across the Mississippi River. Both of these things are real. Then what are you going to do, right? So you got to meet them where they're at.
Does he have a state job for a university? Does he work for the township that's going to get laid off? Having some food back help ease that burden of when you have to pay bills or not eat.
Yeah, you want to meet people with the most likely things to happen first. See, we were just talking about this in a podcast that will air soon about, white belt prepping versus black belt prepping and kind of the in-between stages. And a lot of people on the front end get caught up with the, oh my gosh, there's going to be, the militias, they're going to be fighting the martial law United States government right in the town center and the blah, blah, blah. It's like, yeah, maybe, but maybe we want to ease into preparedness with, you're a teacher, and I've noticed that cost of living increases for teachers haven't gone well in the last 5 years, and the state's not sure if they're going to renew your contract. So maybe we should focus on putting up 3 months worth of food in the pantry while we can, right? Which is basically what you're saying.
Yeah. I mean, your SHTF could happen sooner than what you think, but it affects nobody but you or your family.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just nice. I always look at it as insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you've got car insurance, you got homeowners insurance, medical insurance. Do you have I sound like Glenn Beck now.
Send it.
But do you have that food insurance? Do you have that, beans along with the bullets and Band-Aids, just in case you need it? It's just smart to have. It's just, I think it's relatively common place today in today's society that we don't think that way, because everything is instant right now. Jeff Bezos, one hit click, man, I got it, it'll be here tomorrow afternoon.
It's too easy.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Like, we are spoiled.
That can never go wrong.
It's all it takes is one winter storm and it goes hella wrong, hella quick. I mean, you're up north, you see it, don't you?
Yeah. You know what? Man, my brain's rolling. Man.
Yeah.
I've just used the whole cyber attack on Amazon after these places have pushed mom and pop stores out of business. Let's even say Walmart out of business someday, and then boom, that whole system goes down.
Right.
You're just in time. You're just in time shopping. What's it going to look like? What's Amazon going to look like in 5 years?
Ugh.
I don't know.
Drones just delivering like the dumbest things ever.
Yeah, dental floss and pancake mix. All right.
Perfect. We got some crusties and some.
I don't know, man. But it's good to have that insurance. Just look at it like that. Look at it in insurance. That's how I sold my wife and my guns all these years. It's like, it's just insurance, babe. I just, 1,000 rounds. It's insurance. And you can always turn around and sell that thing that you buy at the same cost usually, or for a profit, depending on the situation, or use it yourself. So,
Puzzleman, I got you. Sons of Liberty, Shalom, brother. Tribesman says, I only do Kung Fu prepping now. I used to do Tai Chi prepping, but I kept falling asleep. And Badger is of the opinion that beer isn't dumb.
Dude, I talked to Tribesman the other day.
Uh-huh.
Cool dude, man. Well, we've been talking, man.
I told you.
He's a good dude.
I told you. I like him.
Yeah.
He's a pretty good guy.
Yeah, we're talking about spider points, too.
Yeah. Well, I'm just hedging. He's not a pretty good guy. He's the best.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
I can't wait. We're going to meet up sometime.
You should.
But we're in the region.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
Beer is awesome. That's a skill for after. Yes. You bring up population density a lot. What is the ideal density? And Aikido for the win. Roger that. Hello from Wyoming. Hello from the office. Population density. So without doing an area study for where you're at, let me give you some guidelines. You don't want so many people that when something bad happens, you're surrounded by people who are going to think of you as a target. You don't want so few people that there's nobody there to form teams with. We have some people who are followers of the channel who find themselves in an area like Montana. And they're like, yeah, there's lots of good people here. And by lots of good people, we mean there's 28 people in our town and they seem nice. But getting everybody into the preparedness, not happening. And so for me, the sweet spot is kind of like living in a town that's somewhere around, maybe 500 to 3,000 people, that there's a major, or not even a major, but that there's a hospital within 45 minutes or an hour to you, maybe more. And you don't want to be, I don't want to be a bedroom, suburb of a major city. Like, that's a huge problem with North Texas. So there's just too many bedroom communities. There's millions of people there with no place to go. You can't get out. There's, North, south, east, west, you're screwed. So I like within a couple hours of a major city, and anywhere between a half an hour to 45 minutes from a minor city or a town. If it takes you 15, 20, 25 minutes to get to the Dollar General, you're probably in the right area. You don't want so few people that you can't form teams. You need to be able to form teams. So
I read a book.
Daniel, I was just there. Send it.
And this group had figured out like what the right amount of people were, because for every, let's take the military, the previous before the global war on terrorism doctrine was that 90% of people supported 10% of the war fighters.
Right.
So if you're gonna have 10% of your crew is on security, then you have another 90%, 9 out of 10 people supporting one person that's pulling guard duty. Well, one guy can't pull guard duty 24 hours a day.
Right.
So you split that shift, let's say every 4 hours worth. Let's say you got 2 people on it. So now you got 20 people trying to support the mission of just security.
Yep.
You look at vehicles, keeping them running, or trying to figure out, your engineers to try to figure out how to get your wind power or your solar. You got your garden, your green thumb that knows how to plant, that can help the people that prepare food, help them. Those wheat berries, it's not an easy task. Like I've made wheat gravy. Yep. You got to grind that stuff. Like I ended up buying after hand grinding it the old fashioned way, just so we can do it. We bought the KitchenAid grater.
Yep.
It works great. Well, if it comes down to grinding wheat, I'm going to work on the solar power to save up the energy to run that KitchenAid wheat grinder before I'm going to try to grind that stuff out.
Yep. I was actually thinking about that because a lot of the Old Testament, the offerings are like 2/10 of an ephah of flour. Like when an ephah is 4.5 gallons, right? So think about filling up a gallon in a 5-gallon bucket of flour.
It's a lot of wheat
that you ground by hand, right?
Or stone.
So it is an offering. It's not just like, oh, I went to Walmart and I got a sack of flour. Like, hey, how much do we have? Oh, about a 1/4 cup. Keep going.
Right.
So, let's see. So 40 miles, not 40 miles from the nearest light bulb. That could be too far out, Mark Chase, but it depends. If you and all your friends are out there, then you're good.
You can go out to the hot tub naked and your neighbors can see you. You're too close.
Still trying to get out of Corpus. Thinking about rural Missouri. There's a lot of rural places in Missouri. I have twice kicked over that water bottle. My current density is crazy too much. We need to coop. Amen. How about 11,000 population? Man, that really depends in what? In your county, in your city, in the unincorporated area. It really depends. For post SHTF brewing, what grain should be grown and stockpiled? You can make a really good beer with some oats for sure. I mean,
I wish my brother-in-law would get on the prepping bandwagon.
Yeah, is he a brewer?
He makes some sweet cherry wine. Good stuff. Just his head's not in the game.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
Renee is right. Yeah, you can definitely make some cooking with it, which is why Harmony is doing that, because it's like, it's nice to have the things, but it's the same thing. Well, you have your rifle, is it zeroed? You have your wheat, can you cook with it? Can you actually do the things with it? So,
man, I gotta jump in here. Do things.
Do it. Do it. That's how this works.
Survival seed bucket, right?
Like
we've had this for like 7 years in the freezer. Where do we get it from? Organics, something. I can't remember. Heirloom Organics.
Okay.
And I got to push them because here's the deal. It was all sealed up. Your 1 acre emergency food storage, everything's sealed up. We took it out of the freezer. We're like, we're going to try this to see if it actually works, because this stuff's been in the freezer for 7 years. We had a lot of luck with it.
Wow.
So the only thing that I had issues with was like my beets and carrots. And I think it was the way that we were growing them, not necessarily that the seeds weren't sprouting.
Right.
But for everything else, man, all the turnaround, the yield has been really impressive.
Wow.
And I was really impressed with that, because it was at that time where it's like, okay, 7 years, okay, we're going to rotate stock, and might as well do something with it, right?
Mhm.
So I send you a picture of our garden. I need to send you another one. You didn't see it.
Yeah.
And it really turned out really great.
Well, you're going to see my garden tomorrow, and you're going to think the opposite of everything you just said. Like it really turned out. It's really great. Like, yeah, the weeds are doing awesome.
Man,
Like,
we did the roost out method this year.
did you?
I mean, this is like, and we've had, Mom's had her garden,
Mm-hmm.
you know, Granny Puckett's had her stuff, and then we've always had like tomatoes and peppers and stuff like in raised beds. Not too much because of where we're at. Mom's always had it at the homestead.
Mhm.
We did the roost out method this year. We literally threw hay on the ground, and then we took a handful of soil, set it on top of the hay, put the seed on the soil, just gave it a little push, and threw grass clippings, fresh grass clippings
Wow.
on top of it. Hit it with water, dude. And a week later, we had inch-high corn and beans.
Wow.
It was amazing.
You're making me jealous, bro.
And then now, whenever the weeds come up, my stepdad will go out there when he cuts the grass. He's got the bagger. He'll just throw it in a big pile and we get rid of it because wherever the weeds come up, we just take the grass, throw it on top,
Yep.
and the grass smothers out the weeds. It keeps the moisture in.
Yep.
And man, I've seen a lot of different stuff. I'm sold on that for my area, my geographical area. It's really working out for us.
That's cool, man. We are super frustrated with the Back to Eden method right now. Tony John, bless you, brother. Yes, I will take 6 beers. Absolutely. No, we did not find those potatoes. I think that grub found those potatoes, but
Daniel Weber said nothing seems to kill them, smother them out, man. At least that's what we're doing. We just throw that grass clippings on top of them, it smothers them out, and then it retains that moisture.
Thank you, Mark Chase. Thank you. You know, two things are really working against us with that garden. The first is that we didn't cover the soil, and I mean, it was bare soil, but we didn't cover the soil to kill out any weeds that were in the soil before we put the wood chips over it. And then it has just poured rain this year.
Yeah,
just poured rain.
And if you go somewhere and leave your garden for a couple days, mayhem can ensue.
Oh, bro, I know. That's the other thing. We've been a little busy. So
Bugs or
yeah, Daniel Weber's crabgrass, dude. I've got Try pulling crabgrass that's through wood chips. Like you'd think, like, oh, it'll just come right out. No, it doesn't.
No.
It like turns the whole mass of wood chips into just like it made OSB out of it. It made press board out of it.
Goodness.
It's horrendous. So I think in this fall, probably what we're gonna do is just get in there and pull everything, torch everything, like literally take a torch and just kill all of it, and then cover all of it with plastic. What I don't know is if I'm gonna rake. I can't believe I did that. If I'm gonna rake all of the wood chips into a pile first, you can laugh at me. I mentioned I'm tired.
Yeah.
If I'm going to rake all the wood chips into a pile first, see, I said rake and chips and turned it into a bad word. Sorry.
Look at the monitor. We both look like we've been on mission for like 36 hours.
I know. Well, more or less. Yeah. So anyway, I don't know if I'm going to rake the wood chips into a pile first and then cover just the dirt or not. Okay. I tried square foot gardening in part of the garden this year. The mix 1/3 coarse vermiculite, compost, and peat moss. Yeah, I bet, Mad Kelp. That's the other thing, too. The soil here is just garbage. Also, rye for whiskey. Tony, you're right. By the way, thank you, brother. Tremendous. My little garden is, yep. Still getting lots of peppers, though. We've had a horrendous year for carrots. Our carrots were terrible. I dug a trench for them and made it like all super soft in there.
Yeah.
Potting soil, the whole nine. Nothing. Got nothing.
What were we talking about?
Planting a garden. Ruth Stout method versus.
Yeah, we were talking about something to begin with. Like we're just going down this rabbit hole of
That's okay. That's how it happens. Failure is the tuition paid for understanding.
Mark Chase is like a wise old owl.
He really is.
He's always like spouting out.
Mark Chase knows how many licks it actually takes to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop. He just won't tell anybody. My soil in PA is garbage too. Yeah, well, we're thinking more raised beds as well, but because at least I'll get some drainage on raised beds.
Yeah.
You need to get some sleep tonight, homie.
I'm going to.
What time are we partying in the morning?
Well, I don't know.
We'll figure
it out.
My 6th cucumber plant died this week. Renee, we haven't gotten one. I had 13 cucumber mounds. 11 have budded.
After you run the day Thursday.
Roger that, TOW. You have a good one.
Yeah, I love running ranges.
Vine borer got me bad this year. I'm telling you. Let's go. Let's go. TOW, we're coming.
That really help control the moisture.
Yeah, that's why we're thinking about doing some more raised beds too, because one zucchini and one pepper.
So what we're getting is that the from all this is that the grand solar minimum food shortage.
It's a real thing.
It's a real full
Let's
reversal
play
of
that
zombie.
game, because you've been harping on me about this for a while. What are you guys having trouble getting in your area?
Oh yeah, we need an intel. That's what we need to put a thread on the forum.
Yes.
Like just intel gathering.
Grand solar minimum thread.
Yeah. Like what? Because I had talked with T about the in my area. Like, okay, y'all ever get like where the hair on the back of your neck, your spidey senses are going on? You're like, oh my goodness, like I feel it in the weeds. Well, my wife and I went to Walmart, get 250 pounds of rice. It's $100. It wasn't that much. Well, I like buying jasmine rice because we actually use it. It's our favorite. We're like, if we got to eat rice all the time, I want to eat jasmine. It's a little more expensive, but it's really good. Anyway, so we went to Walmart to go buy this rice, and normally Sam's Club, and normally Sam's has got like 4 or 5 different types of rice. They had like 1 pallet of parboiled, and there was like 1 row left, and then the only other thing they had was the blue bag, the 50-pound Maker's Mark brand, and it was like that bin was halfway full. We're like, whoa! So we ended up with the Maker's Mark, and then the beans. They usually have like black beans, the pinto beans, they're like mixed, and they have all this stuff. Man, the only thing they had was like a half pallet of pinto beans. Now, another one of our friends from like North Indiana sent me pictures and his storage shelves, and they were there's like missing canned goods and stuff from his store shelves, and we went into a couple of ours, and we didn't experience the canned foods yet, but also we have none of those chains that have been mentioned from other intelligence that's been out.
Right.
So anybody else like short on food in your area?
So Ken said canned green beans and dried dog food. We've had canned green bean issues here as well, but my wife has, in addition to her poultry addiction, has a canned green bean addiction. So we're probably good for the next 12 or 13 years on green beans. But anyway, we have that as well. Walmart here has shortages, but Aldi had plenty of everything. It's good to know. Looking at Amazon brewing kit. Yeah, you should start brewing for sure. Sue B needs rice. See, Arkansas here, 6 months ago, we were talking about getting a bulk shipment of rice because there was a surplus. I'm like literally going to send a semi, rent a warehouse for a day, lay a tarp on the ground, dump 48,000 pounds of rice out a bag of rice.
Set up your rain fly.
Yeah. Well, that's not, I've said, rent a warehouse. Back the truck inside, put it up, and do it.
Yeah.
But it never happened at the time, and now you can't get rice. So that sucks.
Local Walmart and Kroger have shortages. Walmart's about an hour away.
Okie says super center skimpy across the board. How much did you see how much pinto bands went up for? No, how much? They've been about 60 cents a pound around here. Squash did okay, but no peppers, and only 1 potato plant came through. Roger that. Western Washington is how late the season came in. Yeah. Renee, I've had to order the rice with like online. Walmart and Sam's don't have it. Yep. Prices rise. Walmart is about an hour away. Wanted to buy a ton and share with the tribe. Amen.
You know what? Just from my gardening experience this year, I've learned that like green beans and corn, we're going to take from the, I'd say we're probably maybe 15, 20%. We're going to bump that up to about 90 next year because they produce so well in our area. And that's, I mean, and you get a lot of calories out of that.
Yeah.
I love homemade, canned green beans. That's like the best, man. And they are producing like crazy. And like I said, they're out at Mom's homestead out there, and she just calls us up like, "Hey, your beans are ready to pick." I'm like, "Mom, I'm working late. We got to do this, and I can't get out there." She's like, "Oh, I'll pick them for you." I've had several phone calls, and I'm like missing out on my own green beans that we went out there and planted. So, but yeah, they're producers. So that's finding out what works in your area. And actually, putting that garden in, because a lot of people say, "Oh, I'm gonna go garden." Like, have you ever gardened? You ever garden, bro?
Right.
Like, it's not easy.
Do you even till, bro? Yeah.
It's really not. And anybody that has some experience will tell you that you can grow for years, try, and it takes that long to learn and how to defeat certain bugs. Like you want to go the natural way without like using 7 dust or something. Like we still use 7 dust. Why? Because it works. Yeah. And you know what? That was another thing I went and bought, man. 7 dust is cheap. What's going to happen if, let's say, the balloon goes up? I have to ask where that term came from. But if let's say the balloon goes up,
I'm on it.
And you can't get 7 dust. Boy, you talk about not being in your garden for a day or two.
Oh yeah.
You get worms and stuff. They will destroy your crop. We've done that last year. We went for a weekend, long weekend, 4th of July weekend last year. Came back, tomatoes are gone. Forget it. And but it works, man.
So let's answer this from phrases.org.uk. The balloon has gone up, or when the balloon goes up. When the balloon goes up is a phrase used to imply impending trouble. This relates to the use of observation balloons in the First World War. The sight of such a balloon going up nearly always resulted in a barrage of shells following soon after.
Forward observers.
Yeah, the expression was reinforced during World War II when the hoisting of barrage balloons was part of the preparations for an air raid. Observation balloons also used during the American Civil War for spotting or correcting artillery barrages and detecting troop movement on the battlefield. Yep. Okay. There you go. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Now you know.
Without pesticides, you'll probably lose half your crop. Right on, Mark Chase.
Yeah, Mad Kelp, they do. I was amazed by how well pintos reproduce. We were getting 10 to 1. Like, I think I don't remember how many pounds we put down, but I remember it was 10 to 1. I was amazed. And fresh pinto beans, like, who knew? And up until then, every time I see a pinto bean, it was, in a Walmart sack, hard as a rock. So, yeah, but they really do. I'll tell you this, though, like, for what pinto beans cost currently, I'd still rather put them in buckets than plant them to try and grow a crop of them. But they really do produce.
That's cool.
But it's good to know that, like, literally, I just took pinto beans from the store, hoed a row, threw them in there. Yeah. And it's like, so not only do I have food, but I have seed in the same bucket. Corn is the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Man, you got my gears grinding.
Well, spit it out, man.
No, I'm thinking about that. That's. I never planted pinto beans, so.
Dude, they're great. Aspen was like in habit picking beans. Like, it was her jam. Yeah. She was all over it, bro. I planted them straight from a Walmart sack. Me too, brother. I just wanted to see if you could do it. Montana home, howdy.
What's up, Montana home?
Yeah, Montana home. She's cool, What else we got, y'all? We're going to go to dinner here in the near future.
Yeah.
Stock dry yeast for brewing and keep propagating it. Wild yeast can make some skunky beer. 1 month ago, Pinots were 23, now close to 30. Yep, sounds about right.
You guys got any plumbing questions?
Yeah, you got any? Yeah.
Not like,
What's the difference between PVC and CPVC? Break it down.
Chlorine
Ah, is that what the C is for?
Chlorinated polyvinyl chloride,
Okay.
I think.
Now I know. Huh?
Mind blown.
Mind blown.
Mind blown.
Oh, it's not called a hot water heater because you're not heating hot water.
It's just called a water
It's
heater?
just called a water heater. That's a plumber pet peeve. I hate that word too.
Hey, David McGregor, quick looking at my sack.
What was that? FM
22?
FM 21-20.
Right.
Field sanitation.
Okay.
So that's a big one, man. You know, you don't want everybody to start getting sick.
I'm just gonna boil everything, people included. Just be like, you're going for a dunk in the hot tank. Right?
You got to throw something in that septic tank to get the bacteria going.
Right.
It'd be better if it wasn't boiled. But
Okay.
I don't know.
So yeah, that's a good question. What do we do? Like, I have a septic tank.
Yeah.
What should I do to that bad boy to prepare for SHTF?
Well, I mean, obviously you want to keep like, and I have nothing to like, I don't do anything with septic tanks, but
Okay.
That always comes down to it because, okay, let's say septic tank, your bug out location, if you're fortunate enough to be out in the rural area, you're probably got a septic tank anyway. So that kind of falls into that. So just keep it regularly, man. Keep your tank pumped out every couple of years, depending on your usage, and the size of your tank. Ask your guy that pumps it out. Ask him how often you need to do that. Stay up on that. So that way, when if it's every 3 years and you're in year 2, you kind of got an idea of where you're going to be at with the time your capacity, and you want to keep that bacteria going. Don't be pouring down your SHTF, don't be pouring down your bleach down there to kill all your bacteria. Kind of maybe make your own, like, hey, we're going to do the dishes over here, not pour down our bleach down there.
Right.
Because you'd be adding like dead possums and raccoons all the time, trying to keep that bacteria going to break down those solids into liquids.
That's good to know.
So, your regular maintenance on it. And then,
Okie says, lesson from last weekend, renewable sources of water are key. We went through so much water, it blew my mind.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
Dude, like we would go to the field in the Army, man, or even just go into the range, and we just go through so much water. On a hot day, and you're out there all day, and you're just chugging water and filling up your Camelback. I hate Camelback, so I still use canteens. The guys call me an old fart. I'm like, whatever, man. But yeah, you go through your 1-quart canteens, man, like crazy, and you do go through a lot of water. And that's just drinking. That's not at the end of the day. You want to wash your butt or, do some dishes or cook your food.
That's what Okie's saying, because see, we had the water shut off inside the house because Harmony had to redo all the plumbing because my plumber wasn't there.
Sorry, bro.
But so she had the house shut down. Well, Okie and Miss Vicky were cooking for 2 dozen to 3 dozen mouths.
It's a lot, man.
Yeah, without running water.
That's a challenge.
Yeah. So
even like through your cooking, like you reuse certain things that you need to wash.
Yep.
You need to get them washed out. And
let's see. What do you do if you're hooked up to city sewage? I don't have a septic. We were talking about that earlier. Check valves.
Yeah, get you man. So even for a short-term emergency, like let's say you're on the downhill, because crap flows downhill, payday's on Friday, and your pump station goes out, or you lose power or whatever, man, and it starts backing up, and you get a check valve put out in your yard on your own line, and you won't be able to use your system, you won't be able to flush your toilets, but then again, you won't have your neighbors all upstream their sewage going into your house.
Yeah.
So and like you said, you seen like where people were putting plates down on the toilets.
Yeah.
And like you secure them down. That's cool, man. I would dig it up and put the check valve in and just like set it and forget it. Because it may not be the SHTF thing that's happening. It could just be the power is out for a few days, or
somebody drives a concrete truck into the lift station or something.
It could be anything, man. So that's just and some people don't have any issues at all, and others actually, and even in developed areas, when the engineers don't plan things out correctly, you can develop problems.
Canning takes a lot of water. Good point.
Yeah.
For my retreat, I'm looking at 3 to 5 acres minimum. On that, I am looking at the presence of an all-weather water source. Bro, I cannot tell you how important water is.
Water's life, man.
Water is life.
Even out at the homestead, man. We've got one well that this is the well that the pitcher pump's going into, and we're gonna run that thing with the check valve, during the summer, and then
talk about that a little bit, because Daniel Weber asked, is there a way to have a manual crank or something like that on a well? So what are you doing there?
Okay, so right now we have the material to drop down into the well and just use right now we just got a pitcher pump that we can use. So we've got the pump itself can sit on top of the casing. We've got the 1.25-inch pipe, or you can even go less than that, but we got that less diameter, but we got that to go down. I got 20 foot, and it's everything's dedicated for that setup. So if we do lose power, we can manually pump it.
We got to get a hold of the technical crew. Can you plug us in over there? Technical crew. Thanks.
Yeah.
We've been unplugged this whole time, and the computer just reminded me. It's like, yo, bro. Hey,
there it is.
There it is. It's like, we're dying over here.
Yeah, range catchment. Yeah, range catchment's cool, man. It's kind of like the, filling up your, what is it? Like, I'd rather not die of thirst than worry about the BPA.
Right.
Like I got all my, we're on a well at my house.
Okay.
And so we actually have, in our crawl space, we actually have gallons and gallons and gallons of water, just so that way we can flush the toilet if we need to fill up the tank with water. And then if we need water, we can throw it in the big Berkey, and we have that water available. So we have a lot of water. So your rain catchment can do that. I mean, you can catch that rain, throw it through a Berkey, or you can distill it, or you can boil it, or whatever you want. I like the idea of not having to do that, and I can pump it from the ground and not have to worry about the pigeon poop. But you're gonna get whatever elements are on top of your barn, all that, or the side, or the granules of your shingle is gonna get in there. I mean, and you can filter that stuff out. To me, personally, it seems like a lot less work to drop that pipe down here and have the pitcher pump going, and you just ching, 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 and it's water. And every once in a while, here's another thing for prepping. If you're on a well and you're going to do that, you need to have some way to, every once in a while, chlorinate that.
Yep.
You need to throw it in your, what's it called? Well safe.
Mm-hmm.
Throw those tablets down there and chlorinate it. And then for SHTF, don't be having, people digging their cat holes by your well.
Yep.
You don't want that cryptosporidium to go down in there, and everybody's throwing up their wheat berries and rice.
So how deep can a hand pump well go on a well? Do you know?
That's a good question. I don't know. Who is that?
That's Daniel Weber. Mark Chase. Sue B, connecting a solar pump to your well.
I'll try to find out, Mark. Get back with you.
I think it's in the systems that I've seen, it's about having, you can do one of two things. You can have an AC pump that's attached to the well, and then you have DC voltage coming into batteries from panels, and you use a rectifier inverter type setup to turn your DC into AC to power your existing pump. Or you can put a 12-volt pump on top. But here's the thing, the draw on a large pump like that, I mean, you know a thing or two about this. The deeper the well, the bigger the pump, the more amperage it's going to take. So
yeah, the more feet of head it has to pump.
Yeah, so it's really about having the AC pump there and having an adequate source, batteries stockpiled for the amperage draw to go through an inverter to take that thing from DC to AC to power the pump. That's what we're doing on our property for our 3 wells, is just putting in enough solar that we can keep a battery bank powered, that we can then invert that from direct current to alternating current to power the existing pump that's in. Because then it's just a disconnect. When I need the solar, I throw the disconnect. It's basically turning the switch off and on from one to the other. So the pump's still getting the same power, and I'm not having to switch the pump out.
I think that there's about 12 different ways to get that water. The important thing is to have that water available.
Amen.
Yeah. If you don't have an alternative, if you're on city water and you lose that pressure, you don't have an alternative means. That could be a bad day. That might make you have to bug out, relocate, do something. I mean, because water's life. And if you're in the city and you come out to my place, I may be charging you for my well water because I have to put in the calories to get that water.
Right.
It's a resource now that I'm going to exploit for the benefit of me and my family and I. My daughter's over here. She's a grammar Nazi.
Grammar Nazi.
She is.
Your wife is meeting us when at the place for the thing?
Hopefully she's awake.
You should reach out.
I think they're ready.
My wife is on her way, so
okay.
Yeah, we got about 10 more minutes. We can do this.
I need an address to head that way.
Oh, well, let's send it. Stand by. I'll give it to you. We'll just OPSEC ourselves.
I'll copy and paste.
So hard.
I'll copy and paste. I can almost literally not type something. I'm so tired.
Bro, fading.
Yeah.
Fading fast.
This is fun being on this end of the Patreon.
Can you see that thing?
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
Do that with the thing.
Okay.
Let's see. Stormtrooper, shave your beard. You want a good solid seal on a mask, shave your beard. Thou shalt not round off the corners of thine beard. I know. Mark Chase, 0, basically. 0.
Got it.
Filtration is your buddy on that one. Perhaps perhaps gear a Charlin pump to pedal bike.
Talking about shaving beard.
Yeah, for getting gas mask to seal.
Yeah. I mean, you might have to worry about that, I guess.
I mean, I've seen Stormtrooper's beard. I think it's a consideration.
This is my retirement beard.
Is that what that
This
is?
is exactly. I was waiting for like years to retire from the Army Reserve to grow this beard. And when I wanted to, I couldn't grow one to save my life. Get one years ago, and now it's
just use silicone to seal it with the beard. What if you get like a full-blown hazmat suit?
Like level A?
Yeah.
With SCBA?
Yeah, thank you. Yep,
yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
I have to wear a CPAP, man. I got sleep apnea.
Do you?
So I go wear a mask every night.
No wonder you look like junk, man.
Yeah, I didn't even have it for my 3 hours of sleep I got. SHTF sleep apnea, man.
Yeah.
There's so many things. We start going down like your everyday lifestyle, your the way that you live, and you need to convert that to. We always talk about a lot of things comes down to like no power.
It really does, man. The flow of electrons has just, for lack of a better word, powered our society.
Yeah.
It's got us to where we are,
Really, that's what
Shalom, Daniel Weber.
A lot of this SHTF conversation comes down to no power.
Yep.
And that, I can work around that. I think a lot of people can. I mean, or you evolve or die is what they say in business, right? So, but the thing that scares me the most, like I said before, is my neighbor starving to death. That's the one thing, man. You can have a nuclear war, you can have the Chinese invade, you can have the UN, whatever, man. Hillary's going to get elected and take our guns. I mean, that stuff doesn't scare me.
She'll take somebody else's guns.
I think
she's not taking any in Oklahoma.
But I think that all those things, Yellowstone, Cascadia, no matter, all those things could end up inadvertently, that trickle effect of my neighbors are hungry and their kids are starving. What are they going to do to feed their kids? And my kids are like fat and happy.
Yep. That's something that I've actually talked about with my kids is like, you need to be careful about who you tell what to, because, just mentioning something casually in conversation, I said, honey, I don't ever want your kids or your friends to show up here and put me in the position if I have to ask them to leave, and if they don't comply, things get ugly.
Yeah. And Lord help you if I ever catch you making videos on the internet someday. But I don't really. My plan is, I think I have a pretty solid plan. And it's pretty well known that like, oh, come in your house. I'm like, good, I won't be there.
Yeah.
Enjoy the empty safe after you break into it and the bare shelves, because we have certain things that are, if this happens, my wife is like, okay, so I own a plumbing business, and it took me many years to get where I'm at, and we're by no means like rich at all.
Right.
We're comfortable. I can't work a lot of hours because of my back.
Right.
But we're comfortable. My wife says, well, why are we not keeping all this food here at the house that we bought over the years? I said, babe, if I have to eat food out of a bucket and we're comfortable, my neighbors that are living paycheck to paycheck, they're going to be starving.
Yep.
Is it going to be safe to sit here and eat food out of a bucket when our neighbors are starving? No, it's time to
go.
So why keep that stuff here if our plan is to exfil over to point A, our first place that we're going to go? Why do that now? Let's just take that stuff and leave it there, and that's the plan, and we're going to stick to it. Because that when it boils, if it's bad enough to eat food out of a bucket, it's not safe.
Yep.
I mean, really, it's not safe, man. Because I mean, all other means have failed. That I cannot provide for my family. I can't sell anything else to get enough money to provide for food, or the food's just not there on the shelf. It's a scary day, man, if I had to eat that. Unless it was a back injury or something like that, or lost my job, or the other commonplace SHTF things that people may encounter.
I think we're going to end there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm on board.
That was the last. That's all I had left, man.
Yeah. I'm smoked. Amen. So, actually, we're not going to end there. I want your 15-second opinion on when, like, we've been doing this for a couple hours now, between the podcast and this.
Yeah.
Right. You got a little bit of sleep. I got a little bit of sleep, earlier.
Yeah, let's go on a patrol now.
Yeah, let's go. But the whole, like I said, man, this isn't turning big rocks into little rocks. But what is it like sitting on this side of the camera?
I think it's going well.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? Like,
I guess what I'm saying is like being switched on for 2 hours. Like, how does it, like, what's your mental state right now after 2 hours?
Oh, I'm exhausted, man.
Yeah.
I'm mentally tired.
Yeah.
Like, I'm enjoying this and I'm having a great time. I'm looking forward to getting out from in front of the camera.
Right.
And enjoying our fellowship.
Yep.
And eating some food.
Yeah.
Because I need to refuel. But this is taxing.
It's strange. It's different.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to go on down that road, but yeah. I had one deployment. I did one thing, and it was physically exhausting, and it was like dangerous, and it was combat zone, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Another deployment was I was in charge of doing, and the level of responsibility that I had to make sure that all those things that I was doing was correct. And depending on that, and who was reading that information that my team was providing.
Yep.
That was so mentally exhausting.
Yep.
And I only left the wire on that deployment like maybe 5% of the time, maybe 10. But it was mentally exhausting just as much as doing these other missions on the deployment before that. Which was, that was some dangerous stuff. But you had the downtime and you had and it was just two different things.
Switch off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, Patreon. Shalom, y'all. You guys are cool.
Guys.
Thanks for being here.